They gave us melodies that shaped generations. From rock pioneers to soulful voices, these music legends left us far too soon in tragic plane crashes. Today on Celebrity Tribute Hub, we honor their stories and the songs that still live on. A Like is a quiet tribute to the voices we will never forget. Buddy Holly's short career changed the face of rock and roll. With hits like Peggy Sue, That'll Be the Day, and Every Day, he proved that simple, heartfelt songs could speak to millions. On February 3, 1959, at just 22, Holly was killed in a plane crash near Clear Lake, Iowa, alongside Ritchie Valens and J.P. Richardson. Though his life was brief, his influence shaped artists from the Beatles to Bob Dylan. Buddy Holly's sound remains the heartbeat of rock's early years. Ritchie Valens brought the spirit of his Mexican heritage into American rock music. At just 17, his rendition of La Bamba made history, while songs like Donna and Come On, Let's Go revealed remarkable promise. On that fateful day in 1959, Valens perished in the same crash that took Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper near Clear Lake, Iowa. Though his career lasted only 8 months, Ritchie Valens broke barriers for Latino musicians and left a legacy that continues to inspire new generations. J.P. Richardson, affectionately known as the Big Bopper, brought humor and energy to early rock and roll. His novelty hit Chantilly Lace, and tracks like Big Bopper's Wedding made him a radio favorite. On February 3, 1959, he boarded the plane with Buddy Holly and Ritchie Valens, losing his life at only 28. The crash near Clear Lake, Iowa, became known as the day the music died. Richardson's charisma and booming voice remain a reminder of rock's playful and joyful beginnings. Patsy Cline's soaring voice redefined country music with unforgettable songs like Crazy, Walkin' After Midnight, and I Fall to Pieces. On March 5, 1963, her life ended tragically when a small plane crashed near Camden, Tennessee, during poor weather. She was only 30 years old. Alongside fellow country artists Hawkshaw Hawkins and Cowboy Copas, Cline's death left Nashville in mourning. Despite her brief career, she paved the way for countless female singers. Patsy Cline's voice remains one of the most cherished in American music history. Jim Croce's warm storytelling and heartfelt lyrics captured the struggles and dreams of ordinary life. Songs like Time in a Bottle, Bad, Bad Leroy Brown, and Operator showcased his gift for melody and emotion. On September 20, 1973, Croce and his bandmate Maury Muleisen died in a plane crash in Natchitoches, Louisiana, at just 30. His sudden death stunned fans who believed his career was only beginning. Jim Croce's songs still speak across decades, reminding us of love, loss, and fleeting time. Otis Redding's voice carried the raw power of soul. Known for classics like Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay, Try a Little Tenderness, and These Arms of Mine, he became one of the most influential singers of his generation. On December 10, 1967, at just 26, Redding died when his plane crashed into Lake Monona near Madison, Wisconsin. Despite his young age, his music bridged gospel, rhythm, and blues into a universal language. Otis Redding remains the immortal king of soul, gone too soon. Ronnie Van Zant, frontman of Lynyrd Skynyrd, gave Southern rock its voice. With Sweet Home Alabama and Freebird, he and his band embodied raw energy and pride. On October 20, 1977, their Convair CV-240 ran out of fuel and crashed near Gillsburg, Mississippi. Van Zant was only 29. The tragedy claimed several lives, but their music endured. Ronnie's leadership helped define an entire genre. His songs still echo at concerts and festivals, a reminder of a voice that refused to fade. Steve Gaines joined Lynyrd Skynyrd just before fate intervened. His dazzling guitar work shone on Street Survivors and songs like You Got That Right. On October 20, 1977, he died in the same crash that took Ronnie Van Zant and his sister Cassie Gaines in Mississippi. Steve was just 28. Though his time with the band was short, his talent was undeniable. Gaines's fiery playing left fans wondering what could have been. yet his brief brilliance added unforgettable sparks to Skynyrd's legacy. Cassie Gaines lent her voice to Lynyrd Skynyrd's soaring harmonies. As a backup singer, she contributed to Street Survivors and electrified live performances of Sweet Home Alabama. On October 20, 1977, Cassie perished alongside her brothers Steve Gaines and Ronnie Van Zant in the Mississippi crash. She was only 29. Her role in the band's sound was subtle but essential. Cassie Gaines's legacy reminds us that harmony gives depth to melody, and even supporting voices can leave an indelible mark on music. Ricky Nelson grew up in the public eye as both a teen idol and television star, but it was his music that truly defined him. With hits like Hello Mary Lou, Travelin' Man, and Poor Little Fool, Nelson bridged the worlds of pop and rock. On December 31, 1985, his DC-3 aircraft caught fire and crashed near DeKalb, Texas. He was 45. Nelson's career stretched from youthful charm to mature artistry. His tragic passing cut short a life still rich with music and promise. Aaliyah was hailed as the Princess of R&B, blending elegance and edge in hits like One in a Million, Try Again, and Rock the Boat. On August 25, 2001, after filming a music video in the Bahamas, her overloaded Cessna 402B crashed shortly after takeoff. She was just 22. The shock of her death reverberated across the world, cutting short a career destined for even greater heights. Aaliyah's influence continues through artists who followed her path, proving that even short lives can leave lasting soundtracks. With a voice that celebrated nature and home, John Denver became one of America's most beloved singer-songwriters. Classics like Take Me Home, Country Roads, Annie's Song, and Sunshine on My Shoulders captured simple joys. On October 12, 1997, Denver, an experienced pilot, died at 53 when his experimental aircraft crashed into Monterey Bay, California. His loss stunned fans, who cherished his environmental advocacy as much as his songs. Denver's melodies remain timeless, carrying the warmth of his spirit wherever they are sung. Stevie Ray Vaughan's guitar spoke with fire and soul, reviving the blues for a new generation. Tracks like Pride and Joy, Texas Flood, and Crossfire displayed his unmatched skill. On August 27, 1990, after a concert in Wisconsin, Vaughan boarded a helicopter in heavy fog. The aircraft crashed shortly after takeoff, killing him at just 35. His death devastated the music world. Yet Stevie Ray Vaughan's legacy endures in every guitarist who dares to blend technical brilliance with raw emotion. During World War II, Glenn Miller's orchestra brought hope to millions with swing classics like In the Mood, Moonlight Serenade, and Chattanooga Choo Choo. On December 15, 1944, while traveling to France to perform for Allied troops, Miller's plane vanished over the English Channel. He was 40 and his body was never recovered. His disappearance remains one of music's great mysteries. Yet Miller's big band sound shaped American music, leaving behind a legacy of rhythm, optimism, and unity in a time of global struggle. Jim Reeves's smooth baritone earned him the title Gentleman Jim in country music. With hits like He'll Have to Go, Four Walls, and Welcome to My World, he brought a velvet touch to every note. On July 31, 1964, Reeves and his pianist Dean Manuel died when their plane crashed near Brentwood, Tennessee, after the pilot became disoriented in stormy weather. Reeves was 40. His legacy still echoes through Nashville, where his voice is remembered as one of country's purest and most enduring. Randy Rhoads, Ozzy Osbourne's brilliant guitarist, was a rising star of rock. Known for Crazy Train, Mr. Crowley, and the acoustic Gem D, his fusion of classical technique with heavy metal transformed the genre. On March 19, 1982, at just 25, he died in a plane crash in Florida when a stunt flight ended in tragedy. Rhodes's life was brief, but his guitar work inspired countless musicians. His fiery style and innovation remain a benchmark in rock, securing his place among guitar legends. Jenni Rivera, known as La Diva de la Banda, was one of the most beloved voices in regional Mexican music, with hits like La Gran Señora, Basta Ya, and Inolvidable. On December 9, 2012, after a concert in Monterrey, Mexico, her Learjet 25 crashed, killing all aboard. Rivera was 43. Her death shook fans across Latin America and the United States. Beyond her music, she was admired for resilience and advocacy for women. Jenni Rivera's legacy endures as a voice of strength and inspiration. Dean Paul Martin, son of entertainer Dean Martin, carved his own path as a musician and actor. He first gained fame as part of the pop trio Dino, Desi Billy, before moving into acting and aviation. On March 21, 1987, while piloting an Air National Guard jet during training, Martin crashed in California's San Bernardino Mountains, dying at just 35. Though his career was cut short, Dean Paul Martin is remembered as a talented performer who carried on his family's artistic spirit. On March 16, 1991, tragedy struck country music when a plane crash near San Diego claimed the lives of 8 members of Reba McEntire's touring band. Among them were guitarist Chris Austin, keyboardist Kirk Capello, bassist Terry Jackson, drummer Michael Thomas, guitarist Jim Hammond, and vocalist Paula Evans. They were returning from a concert when their jet struck Otay Mountain. The loss devastated Reba and the country community. These musicians, though less famous individually, were vital to her sound. Their legacy lives in every note they played. Maury Muleisen was more than Jim Croce's guitarist. He was his closest collaborator. Their harmonies and interplay defined songs like Operator and Time in a Bottle. On September 20, 1973, Muleisen perished in the same Louisiana plane crash that killed Croce. He was only 24. Though overshadowed by Croce's fame, Muleisen's gentle melodies and acoustic brilliance were essential to their sound. His legacy is a reminder that even behind the spotlight, there are artists whose contributions make the music timeless and unforgettable. Hawkshaw Hawkins was a towering figure in country music, both in presence and talent. Known for Lonesome 7-7203 and his work on the Grand Ole Opry stage, he charmed audiences with heartfelt performances. On March 5, 1963, Hawkins died at 41 in the same plane crash that killed Patsy Cline and Cowboy Copas near Camden, Tennessee. His tragic loss stunned Nashville. Though gone too soon, Hawkshaw Hawkins' warm baritone and stage charisma remain etched in the history of country music's golden era. Cowboy Copas brought a honky-tonk spirit to country music, scoring hits with Alabama and Signed, Sealed and Delivered. He was a beloved fixture of the Grand Ole Opry. On March 5, 1963, Copas died at age 49 in the same crash that claimed Patsy Cline and Hawkshaw Hawkins. The tragedy left country music reeling. Copas's twangy style and timeless songs helped define an era of American roots music. His legacy endures in the voices of countless artists who carried his sound forward. Randy Hughes was more than Patsy Cline's guitarist. He was her trusted manager and the pilot of the small plane that carried her, Hawkshaw Hawkins, and Cowboy Copas. On March 5, 1963, poor weather led to their fatal crash near Camden, Tennessee. Hughes was just 34. Though lesser known than his famous companions, his contributions to Cline's sound were vital. Randy Hughes is remembered not only for his guitar work, but also for his dedication to the music he helped bring to life. Dean Manuel was the steady pianist behind Jim Reeves, bringing warmth and harmony to songs that defined country elegance. On July 31, 1964, he joined Reeves on a flight that ended tragically near Brentwood, Tennessee. Manuel was 30 when the plane crashed after the pilot became disoriented in stormy weather. While his name is often overshadowed by Reeves, his musicianship added richness to every performance. Dean Manuel's story reminds us that the unsung partners behind great voices are equally vital to music's history. Chris Austin was a gifted guitarist and songwriter whose career was just beginning to flourish when tragedy struck. A member of Reba McEntire's touring band, he was among 8 musicians killed in a plane crash on March 16, 1991, near Otay Mountain, California. Austin was only 27. His promise was evident both on stage and as a songwriter with deep country roots. Though his career ended far too early, Chris Austin is remembered for his passion, his talent, and the music he left behind. The skies that claimed these musicians took more than lives. They took voices that had just begun to define generations. Yet, though the flights ended, the music never stopped. Each song remains a living echo, a reminder that artistry outlives tragedy. If these stories moved you, please share this video and subscribe to help us honor more legends. Together, we keep their memory alive, forever carried by their songs.